Tonight's game is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities and by user testing, real-time feedback from real customers wherever you work. October may end with a night of tricks and treats, but tonight you're just in for a treat. For the fourth and final time this season, it's the Oakland Roots against Sacramento Republic with the stakes higher than they've ever been before here in the NorCal Derby, presented by Anthem Blue Cross. Alongside USL veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. War-ups and injury time brought to you by Mere Orthopedic Specialists, online or in person. Mere Orthopedic Specialists provides specialized, innovative, and compassionate services. Crowd tonight will be fired up at Laney, and that includes Sacramento fans who packed a couple of buses and drove down. It's because of what is at stake here tonight as we take a look at the Pacific Division standings brought to you by Puma. A win for either side, Ricky, would put that club above the playoff line at the end of the night.
And they don't get much bigger than this. If you're a player, these are the games you want to play in. There's 1 point separating these two teams in the table. Both need these 3 points, and there's nothing less they can accept. Playoffs are right around the corner, and you need to get in that playoff picture. 1 point might separate them in the standings. Absolutely nothing has separated them in the season series. We've got 3 draws so far. And we have, but in the first matchup, there were 6 goals, but 0 in the last 2. First, it's a rivalry match, so take it personal. Second, the next tiebreaker is head-to-head. And third, there's 1 point between these teams in the playoffs to fight for that last playoff spot. So I'm expecting a huge match because there's just so much riding on this matchup tonight.
It'll be interesting to see if we get back to the goal scoring in this one. After that goal from Jordan McCrary in the 68th minute of that first meeting, we have not seen a goal in this rivalry. Will Darek Formella get things going again offensively? He scored the first ever goal in this rivalry. Sacramento needs him to come up big.
And he needs to get going early tonight. He's such a crafty and skillful player. He's very smart in his movement, finding those gaps between the lines, and we've seen him have that killer pass. We've seen him score goals with 4 goals and 3 assists on the season. Look for him to combine with the players around him.
On the other side, the East Bay Community Energy player to watch for the Roots is Quincy Ameriqua, coming off his first ever goal in a Roots uniform.
And he brings so much experience to this team, things that you just don't see on the stat sheet. He's so mentally tough, and that goes throughout the whole team. So look for him to be tough, to lead his team to a massive 3 points, and yeah, he's going to be hungry to get on the score sheet again.
Absolutely. Should be a great one tonight. Proximity alone is enough to create a rivalry, but it takes a game or two in which the stakes are high to take that rivalry to the next level. With so much on the line in the playoff race, we're just moments away from the escalation of the NorCal Derby. Kick between Oakland and Sacramento is next.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, unless you do it together.
1, 2, 3, family!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots are teaming up, taking on food insecurity, improving physical and mental health, and speaking out for social justice. We're committed to improving the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
Community. It's not just a place. It's shared experiences and memories. It's feeling like you belong. It's home.
Here is Jack McInerney, still McInerney!
But community is more than where you come from. It's the sum of our collective actions. And if we work together, it's ours for generations. East Bay Community Energy. Join us in leading the transition to green power.
Ball over the top for Rodriguez, cut inside, back post, exclamation point. A cool 59 degrees in Oakland, but the action on the field is sure to heat things up in tonight's game. Brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Open enrollment for healthcare coverage begins November 1st. To find out if you qualify for coverage as low as $0 a month, visit anthem.com/CA. Ricky, we take a look at the starting lineups tonight. Brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross, starting with the visiting Sacramento Republic, Mark Briggs. This is the 11 he goes to tonight in what might be a must-win game in the playoff race.
And there's just so much talent on this roster. But I'm looking at that middle three, Wheeler, Amanu, Villarreal, and Cuello. Those three are the engine of this team. Cuello, he needs to link with Foster. He needs to link with Formella and get Iwasa on the ball.
And for Oakland, what might be considered Jordan Farrell's best 11 out there today.
And it's all about that front three. Mafeka, Ameriqua, Rodriguez. Look for them to interchange. Look for Ameriqua come to feet. Mafeka running behind. Rodriguez has a knack for getting in the right places at the right time. And then it all comes down to Jose Hernandez, the link man, the creative maestro in the middle.
Oakland in black from left to right. Sacramento in white from right to left. Joseph Salinas in green. We wait for his whistle to get things going in the 4th edition of the NorCal Derby. Sacramento and Oakland, so much on the line. You can feel the energy at Laney, and we're underway. Kickoff tonight presented by User Testing. Real-time feedback from real customers wherever you work. Visit usertesting.com to learn more. Both of these teams would love nothing more, Ricky, than a very fast start tonight, maybe an early goal, just to kind of ease the nerves of the last two games that have been very cagey chess matches, 0-0 2 straight times. After 6 goals in 68 minutes in that first meeting, we've seen 0 in the next 202 minutes in this rivalry.
And there's no better way to open a game with a goal. So you know Coach Briggs and Coach Farrell's told their boys, come out strong, set the tone, set the tempo, and be confident.
Memo Diaz over to Quincy Ameriqua. We were curious to see how the front four would line up for Oakland. And right now it looks like Ameriqua on the right. Here's Iwasa, threads it through. Chance here, Foster, it's blocked. Early warning shot maybe for Oakland on the backside. A team that squandered 2 points late against Vegas in their last meeting.
And they need to be organized. They need to be compact. They need to have a great amount of communication in that back line. And that was really well done defensively by Clementa to clean up that mess in the first minute for this Oakland Root squad.
Going back to that point from before that chance for Sacramento, the top guys, Mafeka, Ameriqua, Rodriguez, and Hernandez, you could see them really anywhere, Ricky, as they rotate through. How difficult does that make it for an opposing team here as the flag goes up on Ameriqua?
And it's going to take a really big opportunity. We're taking a look at this opportunity here. But look at this last-ditch defending from Clementa to come across. But it's, again, you can see how explosive Iwasa and Foster are for this SAC team. Just to get in transition, there's a lot of pace there, so Oakland Roots has to be aware. But going back to that point, it's just so hard. You have Ameriqua making those runs from deep. Johnny Rodriguez playing at the top. So Sargis and Casey, they have to be really tuned in together and have great amount of communication to track runners.
And a first heavy challenge here. Mafeka is down. Get used to this, I have a feeling, as this game goes along. It was one thing the first 3 times these teams met. The very first game, amped up, first ever official meeting in this rivalry. They did play a preseason match, which apparently got very testy as well. Since then, 2 0-0 draws. A little bit tamer in terms of the challenges, middle of the season. But now, October, playoffs potentially on the line. Things might get feisty again. That replay was brought to you by Nation's Giant Hamburger, serving you since 1952. You can hear some of the chants ringing up from the Sacramento fans already. We're told they had a couple of buses full of fans coming down for this one. The Roots Radicals and Roots Ultras also into it early on, as you expect them to be for all 90 minutes. Emil Cuello with Iwasa streaking down the middle. It's Foster looking for Iwasa, and green clears. Ball fall taken down. Play on, says Joseph Salinas. For Mark Briggs' crew, throughout the season, they've struggled to score at various points. But the one thing you can't say about them, is they're leaky at the back between Sargis and Casey. Two rocks back there. Jordan Farrell even said as much. He was trying to figure out all week how they might try to get by Casey.
And when you have that relationship between those center backs that know each other so well, that play so well and complement each other, it's just so hard, and it makes it so much easier to get results because you're not leaking in goals. So look for them to have a tremendous impact and be leaders in this back for the Sacramento squad.
Visore over for Akeem Ward. He has split time, it seems like, with Soya Takahashi the last couple of weeks. But as the season has gone along, he hasn't said in exact words, Jordan Farrell, but just based on his lineup decisions in certain games, we're starting to figure out who he sees as his most trusted best 11. It appears that Ward is in that 11. Every time there's a big game in the standings against a very strong opponent, it seems like it's Ward out there.
And he just has so much experience being in the MLS, playing at multiple clubs in this USL level. It's just what he brings on the defensive end, but he has that quality to get into that final third with this pace, with this quality, to put dangerous balls in. So look for him. Him and Foster, there's going to be a really big matchup on that right flank, and something to keep an eye on.
Well, Fall taken down again, waved up by Salinas. That's twice. Ball has gone to ground without a call. And now play stops as Fall is still down. Player orthopedic care is provided by Dr. Roth and Muir Orthopedic Specialists, online or in person. Muir Orthopedic Specialists provide specialized, innovative, and compassionate services. Jordan Farrell looks on, chewing the gum frantically. Let us in on a little secret last week of his little superstition with the gum. He tears a piece in half before the game, chews half during the game, and saves half for a potential victory gum at the end. Tell you what, on a night like tonight, he might go through an extra piece of gum as well. A lot of nervous chewing. Cuello gets it by Fall. Hernandez helps clean it up. Visore, steady, ever-present midfielder for the Roots. Finds Diaz. Diaz and Formella will go at it the entire evening. Diaz instrumental in the attack for the Roots, but also defensively. Jordan Farrell noted that he gets some of the toughest assignments. It just so happens that this division is loaded with left wingers, and the latest challenge today will be Formella.
And again, much like Akeem and Foster on that right side, it's like Formella and Diaz on this left side. It's going to be such a pivotal matchup. What the player like Formella, he likes to combine, he likes to get into the attack. So look for Diaz to pin him back while he's getting into the attack. It's just so interesting to see the matches that are on both flanks of this match.
And here goes the intensity again. This foul goes against Sacramento. With that, we'll take a look at tonight's injury report, brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. None reported for Oakland, and only Bone is out for Sacramento. A couple players on the Roots are maybe nursing little knocks here or there, but nothing that would keep them out of this game. A team that was very disappointed coming off of that Vegas draw. Almost felt like a loss for the Roots. Up a man, up a goal late, conceding in the last couple of minutes of that game to tie 2-2 against a team that had lost 10 games in a row prior to earning that point. Jordan Farrell wants them to channel that disappointment, turn it into the focus tonight, and help turn tonight into 3 points.
And at this point in the season, you cannot leave points on the table, especially when you're up a man and you're up a goal. It's a learning curve, but this makes this match so much more important. You need the whole 3 points. You cannot leave anything on the table with playoffs just around the corner. And same goes for Sacramento.
Sacramento team that had a couple of rocky patches of the season, but they're starting to rack up points now when it matters most. The last time that these teams met, Sacramento was actually held without a shot on target for the duration. That came back on August the 11th. A game that Oakland probably should have taken 3 points away from, but to be fair, it evens out. The prior 0-0 draw in that one, Sacramento outshot Oakland 19-3, and it still ended scoreless. So both of those probably should have been wins, one for Sacramento, one for Oakland. They each take a draw in the end, and it's still even. The other game of note tonight in the Pacific Division is Tacoma on the road against Austin. That is scoreless in the 52nd minute. Here's Ameriqua, opportunity for Oakland. Quincy Ameriqua, his second in as many games. The root strike in the 10th minute.
Look how much it means to this Oakland Roots squad. And it's just about this vision from fall that we've seen this whole entire season. But then it's just cool, calm, collected from the experience, from the leader. We highlighted him before the match. And what about this goal? Clean, confident. And that's what you want from a leader on this squad, to put this game 1-0 up in a huge matchup. You needed him to step up. And what about a goal? Tremendous from Quincy Ameriqua. What a goal for this Oakland Roots team.
Ricky, we said tonight of all nights might be the night one of these teams wants a goal in the first 10 minutes to help settle the nerves. They get it in the 10th minute. His second in a Roots uniform. You can see what it means to him and this crowd. That's a $510 donation to 510 Rising Sun, sponsored by East Bay Community Energy. Rising Sun is an Oakland-based nonprofit working at the intersection of equity, climate, and jobs to prepare local youth and adults for good, sustainable careers in construction and the clean economy. Ameriqua has 30 in his MLS career. Transitioned to USL last year with Las Vegas Lights. Now he has 2 goals for Oakland. We highlighted it at the top. He could have let that missed penalty maybe sway his confidence a little bit. He scored just a few minutes after that, and then he backs it up with another one tonight.
And it was really interesting to see Jose Hernandez come into that pocket, and that brings Sargis, that brings Casey to mark him, and then it leaves a huge gap. And Ameriqua has the awareness to make that run, but then it just comes down to quality from Fall to put that ball on a platter. It's a well-executed goal, and that's just what Jose brings. He's a pocket player, and when you have a player in the pocket, it makes defenders confused. They don't know whether to step, they don't know whether to go, and you see Quincy Ameriqua taking advantage of that.
Again, he's harassing that back line. It was Duplaqua who had to shield that off. The Roots looking to secure another 3 points tonight at Laney, where they only have 2 home games remaining this season, Saturday, October 16th and Saturday, October 30th at Laney College. Don't miss any of the action as the Roots make a push towards the playoffs. For more info, visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets. Second nervy back pass all the way to Paul Blanchette. This one, though, did not see any white jersey chasing, had time to settle it. Last time it was that poor clearance that gave the ball back to Sacramento in the attacking third. So that goal broke a streak of 212 minutes in this season series, in this rivalry, without a goal, after seeing 6 in the first 68 minutes of the first ever meeting.
And I'll tell you what, I don't think we're done yet. I think there's a lot more goals if we come in this match.
That is music to a neutral fan's ears in this one. Here's Formella. Lacroix. Good ball movement here from Sacramento. Puts Formella in space to deliver a ball in. Rodriguez gets it away. Here's Casey. 23-year-old came over from Ireland. Now Sargis, the youngest player in the starting 11 at 19 for Sacramento. Came up through their academy, signed his deal ahead of last season, and was one of the finalists for the Young Player of the Year award in USL. Really strong pairing in the middle there. When you have a veteran tandem like Vol Fall and Quincy Ameriqua, that's what it takes maybe to undo a strong pairing like that. Jordan Farrell said the forward lines would decide this game as the foul is called here by Joseph Salinas. Noted that both back lines are terrific. Both goaltenders really strong as well. At this stage of the season, it comes down to which team's big players make big plays on that forward line. So far, edge Oakland as we're near the quarter-hour mark.
And when a match like this, you want your big players to step up. And your big players are Ameriqua, and they link up, and that's music to Jordan Farrell's ears. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Sac responds with players like Formella, Weir Amenu, Villarreal in that middle of the field. You want them to get on the ball, kind of set the sails, get the confidence back going.
Here's Ameriqua. This time the flag goes up. Here's a look at the live standings in the Pacific Division. The goal would put Oakland in 4th place right now on 34 points. So tight down the stretch here. LA Galaxy, Tacoma Defiance, these two teams all in the mix. He's getting heated again here. Little shove in the back from Volfall on Cuello. Finger wag from Akeem Ward. More players enter the fold.
And you can just see Cuello coming in through the back of Fall. He's been caught a couple times and he's not happy, but in a match like this, you have to keep your head. So look for him to be disciplined. He's such a big player for the Oakland Roots, and he cannot afford to get a silly yellow, especially this early in the match.
Jordan Farrell said there's a fine line between feeding off the emotion and letting it get the better of you in a negative way that impacts your play. Said there's no way to divorce yourself from the emotion of a game like this. You just have to accept it, feed off of it, and channel it positively. Trying to stay out of those extracurriculars. Alongside Ricky Lopez Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. Thanks for joining us tonight. Quarter hour gone, and it was 10 minutes in that Quincy Ameriqua put the Oakland Roots on top and for the moment into a playoff spot. Cam Iwasa leads the way with 7 goals. The Sacramento squad. Tucker Bone, who we already mentioned, is out tonight with an injury, is second with 5. We'll have to rely on Iwasa and Formella. Those two have 11 goals on the season. They're also missing Luis Felipe here for Mark Briggs' squad due to yellow card accumulation. So outside of Iwasa and outside of Formella, this team has struggled to score goals. Nobody else has more than 1 goal in a Sacramento uniform in this one. And I say in a Sacramento uniform because Cuello has 3 on the season. 2 of those came with San Antonio before he was loaned here in Sacramento.
And that relationship between Cuello, Iwasa, Formella is just so pivotal for the Sacramento attack. You need to get Cuello more on the ball. He plays a line deeper, so look for him to find those balls to Iwasa making those runs. Formella, we know what he can do, so look for Cuello to be able to pull those strings.
Hernandez stands over the set piece, as does the team leader in assists, Lindo Mafeka, with 4 assists. He vacates now. Hernandez swings it in and is headed away by McCrary. Diaz keeps it alive, back out for Hernandez. Chance to get a secondary ball in towards the penalty mark, and it was flicked along on the backside by Iwasa. Clementa hesitates. Diaz again. Now Mafeka, who had an assist against Vegas and a quasi-assist as it was his cross that was sent in for the own goal. And that attack is finished now for the Roots. Looking for an essential career in the field of aviation, the Aviation Institute of Maintenance offers FAA-approved hands-on training to prepare students to test for their airframe and power plant certification. Call 888-FIX-JETS for more info. That's 888-349-5387. Still scoreless after the hour mark between Austin and Tacoma. Elsewhere, it's 2-2 between New Mexico and Hartford. That's a game to keep an eye on because as you come down the stretch here, you see these Pacific Division teams crossing over with the Mountain Division teams in the Western Conference playoffs. New Mexico in good form right now, and again, things are heating up. Do not envy the position Joseph Salinas is in tonight, drawing this game. It's Bufeka who gets the talking to. Ball fall is being restrained by Kai Green, jawing with Marek Formella.
And you have to keep your head. If you're wall fall, you cannot get in to this silly talking back and forth, picking up a yellow for dissent. That's something you cannot afford to do in a match at this magnitude. You have to keep your head. But the player that has so much experience like him, he knows better not to pick up a silly yellow so early in this first half.
And he's a guy that Jordan Farrell raves about. Said if there was ever a day where he missed training, he would trust Vol Fall to run that training session. He's certainly got coaching in his future. But in a game like this, it can't be easy for anybody to keep their cool. A true test of the patience. And if anybody can relate to that, it's anybody on the field tonight who has been through the first 3 meetings between these two teams, especially that first one. Saw fireworks in terms of the goals and in terms of some of the pushing and shoving and the challenges. Again, the second and third meetings didn't have quite the same bite to them, as Hernandez commits the foul here now. Those two, again, kind of in the doldrums of the middle of the season. There's an update from Austin. They go up 1-0 on Tacoma. That's key to this playoff race in the Pacific. But this one so far mirroring that first meeting in terms of the intensity, in terms of the energy.
And that's the second or third time we see Sargis be able to pick a ball that breaks lines. And when you have a center back that's able to play balls out of that back and have that vision, it's just such a value to have. So look for him to keep finding the feet of Iwasa, keep finding the feet of Formella.
Minutes on, things are pretty even in terms of the statistics. Possession right around 55-45 in Oakland's favor. Just a one shot for either side. But Oakland's, courtesy of Ameriqua, ripples the net and gives them the lead back in the 10th minute. Here's Clementa gliding across. This is one that means so much to him. He lifted a USL trophy with Sacramento. Came back in 2014. Lacroix waiting for the volley. Iwasa didn't catch it cleanly. Here's Villarreal. That didn't miss by much.
And it's a good effort here from Villarreal. Just unlucky enough not to put it on target. And trouble Blanchette. But going back to that first play, Lacroix is the left back that has 4 assists on the season. He puts dangerous balls in, so keep an eye on his overlapping run and having another dimension in the Sac attack.
Here's Clementa again. Enjoyed his time in Sacramento. It was close enough to home, but with no offense to Sacramento, it wasn't home. He's Oakland through and through after his team emigrated, after his family emigrated from Montenegro. Born and raised in Oakland. Tackle is clean from Clementa, edge of the area. Not so clean from McCrary. All Fall pleading his case. That's a couple of fouls now against McCrary. He wants a card shown to the visiting right back.
And you can just see how much it means for both teams. Both teams are defending each player. When one goes down, there's 2 talking to the guy who brought him down. It's just a prideful thing. You know, each team is being together. They want these 3 points, and they're going to do it together. So you see that when they come together when a player goes down.
Ball fall. The assist on that goal to Quincy Ameriqua was Volfall's 2nd of the season. Foster nearly won it from Green. Call for the foul. Taken quickly by Fisore. Nice flick by Hernandez to Ameriqua. He was trying to catch Carlos Saldana off his line, but it was blocked before he could trouble the keeper.
And you can see this Oakland Roots finding success between the midfield line and the back line of the Sacramento team, whether it's Mafeka, whether it's Hernandez with the cheeky little flick we saw moments ago. They're having a lot of success, so that's something to keep an eye on as this first half keeps going on.
Green loses it to Foster. Clementa helps clean it up. Foster goes flying. Still down. Oakland not playing it out. Now play will stop with the whistle from Joseph Salinas. Foster down. Making his third start of the season tonight. 10th appearance overall. No goals, no assists, but a very dangerous player nonetheless. And that Oakland back line has felt that danger so far again here.
And you can see how dangerous he is, how explosive he is. But again, it's really nicely defended by Clementa. That's the second or third time we've seen in this first 26 minutes that he's come across and cleaned up the mess that this Oakland Roots backline has caused. So they have to clean up because you have a player like Foster who is very opportunistic, that gets on the end of things, that has pace. That's something to keep an eye on.
Green clips it over the top. Easy grab for Carlos Saldana, making his second start of the season, second in a row. Signed for the remainder of the season back on September 15th. Had been training with the club all season long, so there is chemistry there. There was some development that Mark Briggs saw. Here's Foster again. Every time it seems like Sacramento is looking to do something dangerous so far, Ricky, it's coming through Foster.
And again, he's making that run in behind. So look for Clementa and Green to have that communication to be able to follow the runners in. You do not want to get caught flat-footed with a player like Foster running in behind you.
There's Casey. A little bit too much for Cuello. Miller Alminu headed up the wing, and it caught a deflection. So here's a Sacramento throw. Whether it's the Sacramento fans who have bust down or the Oakland fans or both, and probably both, this crowd has been into it nonstop for 27 minutes. Formella trying to give the Sacramento fans something to cheer about. Clean tackle from Diaz. Had to time it perfectly. And Formella, maybe frustrated, comes back and throws a little elbow. We knew we were in for it tonight. And it hasn't disappointed through 27 minutes. Yellow card to Diaz. That's probably for simulation if we take another look at what he had just done. And then one is being issued to Formella as well for likely the initial elbow.
And he does so well to defend this. He times it perfectly, but then there's no need for this simulation. Like you said, we see it there, trying to get an award for acting.
You can't do anything but laugh in that situation. I mean, that is a very delayed reaction there. So Formella and Diaz, the first two gifted yellow cards from Joseph Salinas, and they both earned it.
And he does so well defensively to time that tackle perfectly, but then there's just no need to pick up a yellow card with simulation. And Formella, you can see he's a little bit frustrating. Diaz was a little bit cocky after getting the better of him, but there's no need to put your elbow into his chest. It's going to be a big task for both of these teams to stay disciplined. Emotions are so high, but you want to end this game with 11 players on the field.
Here's Rodriguez. Look, simulation is part of the game. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it is. Players are going to do it all the time, but you can't make it look like your controller just lagged out in FIFA like that with that delayed of a reaction and expect to get away with it. Play on from Salinas. Bodies around the ball. Ameriqua trying to dig it out from the ground. Somehow pulls it through. Cleared away by Casey. Acres of space on the right side for Diaz. Doesn't have an assist on the season for as active as he is in the attack, but he has drawn 3 penalties, including that last game against Vegas. Foster taken down hard by Clementa. Top of the broadcast, I said that, look, you could have a rivalry based on proximity. That's how this one started. They're about 80 miles apart. But it takes a game with the stakes being very high to help take the rivalry to the next level. We're seeing that a half an hour in with so much on the line in the playoff race. 4th and final meeting of the season. Things getting very heated between these teams. And it's only going to probably pick up as the game goes along. Half an hour gone, 1 hour to go.
But as a player, these are the games you want to play.
Of course.
These games that mean so much with the hostile environment, with your fans behind your back. If you're Sac, you're coming into your rival's home. There's nothing better than a match like this, and you want your play to speak for itself.
Here's Formella, chance here, Formella, and it trickles in. We're level again at Laney. I'd say it silences the crowd, but there's plenty of Sacramento fans here as well who are loving it.
And again, big-time players step up in big games. We highlighted him in the pregame. He's a player that gets into dangerous positions, a player that makes things count. But it's all about this ball from Villarreal. Look at that. I think it takes a little deflection. He won't ask any questions, but then Formella, he does what he does and finds it back of the net. What a goal that is for Sac to tie this game up 1-1, 31 minutes into this match. We got a game going on.
5th of the season for Formella. Right back the other way. Saldana grabs it. Villarreal, unsung hero in this midfield for Sacramento, does so much of the dirty work consistently among the team leaders in tackles, block shots, interceptions. Sitting there as one of their defensive midfielders. Curious to see if he'll actually get credit for an assist on that one because of the deflection. The official scoring has not been posted yet, but he deserves it for the vision and for getting it there.
It was such a cheeky, crafty pass. Everyone in the stadium, especially me, thought he was going to pull up for a shot, but he has the awareness, the audacity to find Formella's feet inside that box. It was an unbelievable pass to lead up to this goal for Sac.
And there we have it. Villarreal is officially credited with the assist. For Villarreal, that would be his first of the season to go with 1 goal. Formella's 5th goal. Iwasa nods it back for Formella. Blanchette out of the goal. It's chipped, but over the goalpost instead of under.
And you can see his confidence rising. He's getting involved. He's finding those gaps that he's just so good. When you have a player like Hernandez on the other side that finds those gaps between the lines, it's just a nightmare to defend, and that's where he makes his living. That's where when he's at his best. So look for him to grow on his confidence, to get more on the ball, and find those gaps to ask a lot of questions of this Oakland Roots back line.
That was the first shot on goal of the match for Sacramento. This is coming on the heels of the last meeting between these teams when they went 90 minutes without a shot on goal. And Jordan Farrell said it, both of these back lines are terrific. It's not easy to score on either of these teams. Don't let the stats fool you where these teams are middle of the pack at best in terms of goals conceded. Their run of form recently much better. These teams so different, and the last time they met, even at the beginning of August, it's going to come down to which forward lines make the plays. And so far, one for each side. Ameriqua got it done for the Oakland forward line. Formella gets it done for the Sacramento forward line. Ricky, as a striker yourself, how might picking up that yellow card for some shenanigans actually get Formella into the game, wake him up a little bit, and maybe turn it into something like that for a goal?
Well, when someone's in your face like Diaz, when he got the better of you, you take it personal. You don't want to pick up a yellow, but you take it personally. Next time, you say to yourself, look, I'm going to get the better of you. You're not going to be able to boast in front of me anymore.
Lacroix, good ball in. Iwasa guides it wide.
And a player like Formella that has a quality, you do not want to get him riled up. You don't want to give him any more motivation in a match like this. So look for him to grow in that confidence. And then we see Lacroix getting into the attack and putting a dangerous ball in like we know he can.
Not a good sign here for Foster. We've seen him hobbled a couple of times already. Looks like he gave the signal there for a sub as well. He went down on his own there, away from the play. He's ditching that left boot. Player you hate to see go down here if you're Sacramento. I mentioned earlier, is yet to record a goal or an assist this season, but has been very dangerous tonight. Earned the start. Mark Briggs is utilizing the Jamaican international. Here's a look now at the standings again. Sacramento, by virtue of taking a point in the live table as it is, would now jump to fourth. The Oakland lead had the Roots in fourth. Now Sacramento, it's going to be a game of leapfrog all night, and especially with Tacoma still losing to Austin, they will likely not factor in. Exciting night across the league so far. Memphis beat Sporting Kansas City 3-1. There's that 1-0 scoreline right now for Austin over Tacoma. 2-2 between El Paso and San Antonio, a big one in the Mountain Division. And then 2-2 between New Mexico and Hartford, cross-divisional matchup. And 1-1 here with plenty of tempers flaring as well as they continue to do so. You'd think they maybe take a break right now with a player down injured, but they see this as another opportunity to get in each other's faces and rile each other up again. Clementa, Ameriqua talking to each other there as Green and Blanchette listed in. A lot of experience between those two, as Jordan Farrell relies heavily on those two guys. Good to see Foster jogging back towards the halfway line. He did give that signal for a sub as soon as he went down. Good to see that maybe he was able to shake it off. And there he is, wave back on. Foster gives it another go. Jordan Farrell, throughout the first month and a half of the season, kept telling us how much he could not wait to finally play a game at Laney. It took longer than they had anticipated, but they finally were able to start playing the games here. And he said it has just been terrific, and tonight is no different. The atmosphere electric right now around the stadium from the home fans and the away fans who made the short drive. He noted that a lot of people around the league started getting this perception like, oh, Laney, big headache for everybody with the issues they had earlier in the year. Jordan Farrell said that perception has changed as he's talked to other coaches and players. Wade Weber of Tacoma actually said it was one of his favorite road environments to play in because the fans were, from the first whistle to the last whistle, nonstop. He said there were actually a couple of good heckles that he appreciated from the fans on that night.
Yeah, when you play at home, you want your fans to be behind you. You want them to make it a hard environment for any team to come in and be that, realistically, that 12th player that you don't have on the field. And you can just hear tonight, the fans are active, they're getting into it. They're active when there's a call made. They get upset when it's not going their way, and that's what you want. And that energy just brings so much more out of a player, brings so much energy, and you want to play well for your fans. And if you're an away player, you want to be able to make them quiet. Like you see Formella, when he scored his goal, he put his hand to his ear saying, okay, now come at me. So it's going to be really interesting to see how both of these teams react to the rest of this game.
They set the high watermark of the season on Saturday with 5,044 in attendance. I don't know if they'll top it tonight being a Wednesday, but so far I'll say this, whatever number there is right now in the crowd as Salinas calls the foul in Sacramento's favor, whatever number it is, it sounds louder than it did on Saturday.
It does.
Handful of minutes to go here in this first half. Blanchette has to get it away in a hurry with Lacroix closing in. Here's Volfall. Grabbed from behind by Wheeler Aminu. And now the foul is called. Iwasa's been very active backtracking in this game. Leads the team with 7 goals, doing the dirty work tonight. That one is last off of Hernandez, out for a goal kick since 1947. Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Here's Foster, able to turn on Clementa. Back for Blanchette. Here's Foster again. Looks to be all right after testing out that foot. Went down a few moments ago. Casey steps up and back for Sargis.
And it's been a little hectic for the Oakland Roots. They're unable to play out of the back. Too many turnovers in that middle of the park. So look for Fisori, look for Fall to put their foot on the ball, settle the tempo down, get the confidence. This is better here. Connect a couple passes.
Up for Ameriqua. You noted early on, Ricky, how much they might switch around the top with Mafeka, Ameriqua, Rodriguez all cycling up to the 9 at various points. Seems like Ameriqua has pretty much stuck there for most of the night so far.
Yeah, he scored a goal and he wants another one.
Volfall, that's got to be the 4th or 5th time that Joseph Salinas has waved off a foul when Volfall went down. You wonder if Volfall maybe created a bad reputation for himself with those 2 early plays that certainly seemed to be dives, where now Salinas can't necessarily trust it. Diaz, good ball in, punched away securely by Saldana. Good first touch from Ward. Now it's Volfall.
And this is a lot better from the Roots. Being patient in their build-up, finding gaps to play in like this.
Ward. On it away by Lacroix. Diaz directing traffic. Mella forces him back. And all the way back. It looked like he was trying to play that all the way back to Blanchette with the weight on it. Green got in the way. That could have been dicey with Foster right there. Ward again has Rodriguez. Couldn't slip it through. McCrary gets a foot to it and now wins it. Taken right back by Ward. Fisore flips one over the top. Rodriguez and Ameriqua close enough, but neither able to latch onto it. All eyes turn to the Atlantic Division when the USL on ESPN continues as the Charleston Battery travels south looking to break down a surging Tampa Bay Rowdy side. Catch the action tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Sore running out of real estate there. Clementa finds Hernandez. Space for Mafeka, even more space for Diaz. Final minute of the first half. We'll see what stoppage time has in store. Could be a decent number. We saw a number of stoppages between the goals, the injuries, the skirmishes we've seen between both teams already. Hernandez, Rodriguez, now ball fall to Ameriqua. Tried to get it back to him. Well defended by Formella. We've seen it from Iwasa and Formella. Those guys have done a great job of getting back and helping defensively as well.
And in a game like this, it's a whole team defensive effort. And you love to see that if you're Coach Briggs, Formella, Iwasa, the guys that are known for scoring goals, to put that defensive shift in. And that's what you're going to need going into the second half to secure massive, massive 3 points in this match.
2 minutes of added time, brought to you by Nation's Giant Hamburgers. Hernandez. It's taken away. Formella. Ball fall. This is the challenge. Clementa defends Foster, and then it's taken back by Ward. Formella battles back and helps win it again. Foster. And now it's out for the throw. Hungry for a hamburger? Don't settle for a nothing burger. Go for a Nation's Giant Hamburger, the East Bay's favorite since 1952. Really fresh, little hard to hold, totally awesome. Keep it real. Make it Nation's. We've seen some frantic spells of play from both sides in this first half, and it seems like that's how the first half is going to end. Last minute here, will either side find one and change those team talks in the locker room? Would love to be a fly on the wall in either locker room at the half with all that's on the line here and the intensity we've seen out of this first half. Both coaches maybe a mixture of tactics and also calming their players down.
Yeah, I would imagine both coaches are going to tell their players, we need 11 players to end this match. You cannot give any team an advantage by getting a silly yellow card, a silly red card. We see Formella here.
Formella tried to drive it in for Iwasa. One last late challenge there to end the half. Quincy Ameriqua behind the play a few moments ago was going at it with Dan Casey. There's the halftime whistle. Here's what's going on behind the plate. It's going to be a fun second half, Ricky, between the goals, between all this going on after the fact. There's a lot to see in this second half. Formella has a yellow, Memo Diaz has a yellow. The goals came from Ameriqua and Formella. A lot to parse through in that first half.
A lot of off-the-ball actions in this first half, but look for the second half for these both teams to talk on the field, to make their play do all the talking. You know Sacramento wants to get Iwasa more involved. You want to get Foster. He's been very active. And if you're the Oakland Roots and Coach Ferrell, you want to find Hernandez, you want to find Mafeka in those gaps to spring Ameriqua, to spring Rodriguez. I'm expecting fireworks in the second half, Joe.
Fourth and final meeting of the regular season here in the first year of the NorCal Derby, and it has lived up to the hype so far. 1-1 at the half. We're back in a moment with the Anthem Halftime Show.
For so many, life looks different these days. Some now work from home, others have become essential. People are stepping up in big ways to help keep the world moving. And at Anthem Blue Cross, we're doing the same to keep them protected. with affordable plans full of benefits like online care. Because when health moves forward, we all move forward. Anthem Blue Cross.
Oakland. The town. A world-class city where it's not just about where you're going, but it's also where you come from. See, here, there's always room at the top. Where sky's the limit, but roots help keep you grounded. And this is town business. If you know, you know. Some might say it's rough around the edges, but we all know that the flavors are in the margins. It's a family affair out here. It's all eyes on we. Hold it down for the people holding you up. These things matter to us.
It is let's go Oakland over and over and over again, where East Oakland and West Oakland meet.
Show the town love, and the town will love you back. Oakland, forever.
Community. It's not just a place. It's shared experiences and memories. It's feeling like you belong. It's home.
Here is Jack McInerney, still McInerney!
But community is more than where you come from. It's the sum of our collective actions. And if we work together, it's ours for generations. East Bay Community Energy. Join us in leading the transition to green power.
Back here at Laney, where East Oakland meets West Oakland. A look at the downtown. Seems quieter out there than it is in the stadium. The fans are loud. The game has been very busy and entertaining. It's 1-1 at the half, and here on the Anthem Halftime Show, let's take a look ahead, Ricky, and do some math. I know we don't love math, but let's do some here. We take a look at the remaining schedule for both teams. What do you see here, game by game, point by point for Sacramento?
Okay, you have San Diego away. If you can walk out of there with the point, let's say 1 point. You're at home against LA Galaxy, against the Clementa Defiance. You need 2 wins. You need 6 points there. In those 2 games, you need 6 points. So we're at 7. Phoenix, it's a tough one. Obviously, Phoenix, let's say a loss. And then you have San Diego at home. That's another win there. So I'm saying you have to have 9-10 points out of these last games to give yourself a chance.
All right, so 9-10 points you see there for Sacramento. On the flip side, here's Oakland's schedule. Do the same thing for me.
Again, you're at Phoenix. Tough. Let's say 0 points walking out of there. Home to Orange County. Massive game. Really good opponent, but you need 3 points. Coach Farrell wants 3 points here. You're at Tacoma. Tough one. You need 3 points. I'm going to say you walk out of there with a tie. At San Diego, another massive one. You need to get a win at Tacoma or San Diego, and then, of course, Sporting Kansas City at home, a win. Again, 9 points. It's just so tough. I would say 9 points again.
There's not much separating these teams. There's only 1 point separating them in the standings coming into the night as we bring the standings back up here for you, brought to you by Puma. This is a live look at the standings. It started as 1 point separating. It still is 1 point separating, now just 33-32 instead of 32-31. A point separating here, nothing in the season series. We've had 3 ties. We're tied at the half. You say 9 or 10 for both teams. It's going to be a wild run to the finish here in the Pacific Division.
It's just so tight. Every point matters. But if one of those teams can get a point at Phoenix, I think that's the difference. But that's a lot easier said than done. You're going to Phoenix. You know how good Phoenix is at home. It's just so tight, and that makes it so much meaningful for this match here. This second half is going to be massive for both of these clubs.
And that's ignoring LA Galaxy, too, which we maybe shouldn't do. They're the wild card in all this, but it's tough to get a read on them as they bring players up and down from MLS. It's going to be a fun last month here in USL. That's all I know. It's going to be a fun second half as well between Oakland and Sacramento. We're back in a moment here on the Anthem Halftime Show.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Hey, y'all. Can we change up the chores?
Sorry. It's up to the wheel, man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, change the channel back.
Sorry, it's up to the wheel.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Sebastian Doggone from distance, and he drills it! Wow! What a goal! Piggott lines one up, Curler! Oh, baby! Simply magnificent!
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, unless you do it together.
1, 2, 3, family!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots are teaming up, taking on food insecurity, improving physical and mental health, and speaking out for social justice. We're committed to improving the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
I know we want to get back to this one as quickly as possible after what we saw in that first half, and we take a quick pause for a look around USL Championship with some news and notes. Big agreement between the USLPA on a collective bargaining agreement that is big for the league as things go forward. Record watch, Haji Berry right there on 24 goals, one more, and he ties the single season record. Was close the other night, turned out to be an own goal against El Paso. More on El Paso in a second. And the Clear Audio Player of the Week, Laurent Kisiedu. 2 terrific goals. If you haven't seen them yet, go watch them in the win against FC Tulsa. And Memphis went ahead and got a 3-1 win tonight against Sporting Kansas City. I said more from El Paso in a second. That game was 2-0 San Antonio early. 3 unanswered from El Paso, and then 90+4, San Antonio makes it 3-3. That was a wild ride, as was the game between New Mexico and Hartford. So it's the theme of the night. Wild rides there, wild ride here for us in Oakland. But all around, it's been terrific on this Wednesday evening in USL Championship as we take a look at the upcoming schedule. Ricky, I give you the remote, I give you a couch. Which one are you flipping to first?
Oh, man. Look at the bottom two. San Diego, Sac, Phoenix, Oakland, and then you have Tacoma, Orange County. Take your pick. This Pacific Division is just so tight. It means so much. Top left, Tampa Bay, Rowdies, Charleston Battery. Incredible. It's just so many matches, so much to be excited about. So tight and all around this USL.
Our focus here goes to the Pacific Division, of course, but Tampa Bay top left, Phoenix bottom left. Those two are in a very tight race for the #1 overall seed to see where the road to the final would run through. Those two teams were supposed to meet in the final last year. They might be on a collision course again this year, but not if either of these teams have anything to say about it as they try to work their way into the playoffs as well. Things are as tight as they can be in this division's playoff race, and a big 3 points are on the line here between Oakland and Sacramento when we get back for half number 2. Ball over the top for Rodriguez, cut inside, back post, exclamation point.
What do you think about our new tagline?
Have you checked that on Urban Dictionary?
That's descriptive.
How's our checkout working?
I can't add it to the cart. The chat's in the way. Frustrating.
Eye-opening.
See it how your customer sees it with user testing.
For so many, life looks different these days. Some now work from home. Others have become essential. People are stepping up in big ways to help keep the world moving. And at Anthem Blue Cross, we're doing the same to keep them protected. with affordable plans full of benefits like online care. Because when health moves forward, we all move forward. Anthem Blue Cross.
Our world is made up of digital experiences. Experiences that rely on the movement of money. From payments to purchases, from transactions to transfers, Marqeta's modern card issuing platform enables companies to issue physical, virtual, and tokenized cards to build their payments infrastructure. That's why leaders across industries use Marqeta to power new and innovative experiences. Marqeta. You see a card, we see endless possibilities.
Time to begin half number 2 here at Laney College alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. We take you now through the first half highlights brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. I'll leave this to you, Ricky. There was a lot to dissect in that first half.
There was, but look at this vision from fall to find the run of Ameriqua, and then it's just experience, just confidence, composure, you name it, to put that in the far corner. That's a world-class finish right there. That's a striker's goal. And you can see how much it means to the Oakland Roots squad. But it's not done here. You see Villarreal have a good effort. Unlucky not to put that on target and question Blanchett. But again, Sac, as the game got going, they played themselves into the game. They got more opportunities. They got more chances. And then again, Villarreal, what a pass this is. Just freezes everyone. And then Formella gets a little bit lucky to put this through the legs of Blanchett, but he won't ask any questions, and that is a huge goal to tie this game at 1-1.
Take a look at the first half stats here, brought to you by Anthem. In the end, Sacramento took 7 total shots, just a 1 on target, but it's starting to look like the first couple of times these teams met where Sacramento was just trying to pepper the goal. They didn't always hit it, but they were getting the shots off.
And you need to score goals, you need to shoot, right? So if you're Oakland, you need to get going. You need to get Jose Hernandez. You need to get Lila Menfeka into those pockets to feed Ameriqua, to feed Rodriguez. Those guys are going to score your goals. And then if you're Sac, you want to stay the course of the game. You want to get Foster in behind. He's been so active. He's been so dangerous. With that pace, it's deadly. Get him behind. Get Iwasa crashing the goal. Get Formella on the ball again. And then I'm telling you, it's going to be fireworks this second half.
First meeting, there were 17 shots for Sacramento. Second meeting, there were 19, so they're on their way again. Here's a look at that rest of the team of the week, joining Laurent Kisiedu from this past week. Take your pick. There were a lot of guys who had really, really big weeks in the past week. Sylvain Marveau has been terrific for Charlotte, as that team might be one of the most talented in all of USL Championship right now. Would not want to see them in the playoffs.
No, you don't. There's so much talent in this league. As we see here, Marveau, Enzo Martinez for that Charlotte team. And then, of course, Bernardo Forbes. It's either him or Dixon on that team, on the team of the week, I promise you. But there's just so much talent. You see Sion McFarland, Josh Yarrow, Cody Cropper in goal. Just so much talent.
Seeing a lot of Eastern Conference here, Ricky. Only Joshua Yarrow stuck out from the West. I say it every time, I'll say it again. We need an East and a West for the team of the week come next season. Teams are back out there for half number 2. What a first half it was. 45 minutes remaining in the first ever season series in the NorCal Derby between Oakland and Sacramento. Nothing has been there to separate these two teams. 3-3, 0-0, 0-0 again, and we're 1-1 right now through 45. Will either side actually win the season series, or will it be split right down the middle? We find out in the next 45, and we are underway. Oakland from right to left in black and white, and Sacramento from left to right in the white and red. Besides the points and the standings, it's also a big one here for either side to win, because it doubly helps you. The first tiebreaker in this really tight race, if these teams were to end up tied on points, is head-to-head. So right now, that would obviously be a draw. You go to the next tiebreaker. So a win for either side, you clinch the tiebreaker as well. Double whammy. And beyond that head-to-head tiebreaker, it's goal differential in head-to-head matches. Of course, if there's 4 ties, that's also going to be the same thing. So they're going to the third tiebreaker, which is total points in divisional games. That's where these teams could be separated. That's still to be determined, but if this game ends in a tie and these teams end up tied on the season, there's going to be a lot of work to do going down the tiebreaker list. That could all be a moot point, though, if either team can find a winner in this one. What would you like to see either of these teams do differently here in this second half, Ricky?
And I think if you're Sacramento Republic, you want Foster to get in behind more. He has so much pace, and pace is deadly in football. So you want him to get in behind. Whether it's, if he's getting behind, Iwasa coming into that pocket, those two are deadly. For Melo, we know what he can do. We know how talented he is, how he can change a game. You need to get his confidence. With that goal, his confidence is just going to grow. So you want your triple threat, so to say, to be confident, to get on the ball. Yeah, you had 7 shots, but you only had 1 shot on target. And if you're the Oakland Roots, I said it before, I'll say it again. You want to get Jose Hernandez on the ball. You want to get Lindo Benfica into those gaps. That's where those guys make their money. Those guys are so creative. They're so crafty to find that final pass, to have that little bit of skill, to spring Ameriqua, to spring Rodriguez. Coach Farrell needs those guys to get going.
Here's Diaz. Too much in the end as 2 white jerseys converged. They're all started there on that attack. Off of a touch from Jose Hernandez, as you mentioned, right on cue. Seems like Oakland of late, especially at home, has been a better second half team as well. They did blow it, of course, late against Vegas. Jordan Farrell noted that that's one of the toughest things to maybe do in this sport, be up a goal, up a man, because you have this false sense of security and complacency down the last 15 minutes. But in reality, all it takes in a 1-goal game is 1 goal, and now all of a sudden you drop 2 points. But overall, think back to the game against Tacoma, specifically the game against San Diego. They've been much better in second halves here, Oakland, and Volfalt might pick up a yellow for that one. Stands in front of that ball. It was brewing for Volfalt to pick up a yellow in this one. He'd been in the referee's face a lot. He had been in other players' faces a lot.
And here you can see Foster getting involved. He's been tossed around a lot in this match. But if you're fouled, you have to be extremely disciplined in the second half. You've been talking a lot. You've been getting into the referee's ear. You've been getting into Sac players' ear. So be disciplined and stay on the field. Your team needs you in a match like this.
And that goes for all 3 players on yellow cards right now, for Mella, Diaz, and Fault. Mistake there from Sargis. Quick throw in from Fisore. Sacramento able to regather on the back end. Here's Diaz. Jordan Farrell praised 2 players for showing the most growth throughout the season on this club, and Diaz is one of them. Comes over from El Paso, where he was a role player, steps into a really prominent role here, has been a key piece and really gotten better as the season has gone along as a pro off the field and in his play on the field. Here he is on the ball again. And once again, it's McCrary getting in the way of it. The other player that Jordan Farrell mentioned in that conversation was Johnny Rodriguez. For the first time in his career, had a big injury, was in danger of missing the season, but never batted an eye, listened to everything that the doctors and therapists said for him to do to get back on the field. He gets back out there, and now in his 8th start, 13th overall appearance, he's got 2 goals and 3 assists. A spark plug for this team ever since he made his season debut back on August the 18th against New Mexico. Rodriguez is a player that they have very high hopes for, not just this year, but going forward. Only started playing the sport in high school, goes on to play collegiately at Cal State Northridge, 13 goals in 36 games in college. It was a step up then to NISA with Oakland, and a step up to USL Championship. Every step of the way, he has shown those strides for Jordan Farrell.
And when you're in a professional environment, day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, you're just going to grow. When you have players, we touched on it in the pregame, like Ameriqua, that have experience, that have been around not only this league, but the MLS, there's no way you can backtrack. You have to be able to learn from those players. You have to be able to hold yourself to a higher standard and get better. And we've seen that from Rodriguez throughout this year. And there's no ceiling to his potential. Coach Farrell talks so highly about him because he sees him day in and day out, and how disciplined and how mentally strong he is. It's incredible to see.
You know, right on cue, it always seems like that happens that way. Rodriguez is called for a handball. One back quickly, though, by Oakland. Diaz trying to slide and keep it in. You wonder when Mark Briggs for Sacramento and Jordan Farrell for Oakland might dip into the bench. A cool night in Oakland in the mid-50s, so that not a factor in terms of fatigue, but plenty of options on both benches to help change the tide of this one. Turnover. Foster thinks about it from distance, does strike it. You see there on the left side for Mella with his arms raised. If Foster would have picked his head up, spotted a player already with 1 goal on the night.
And it's a little too eager here from Foster. If he's able to pick up his head, like you said, he has Cuello on his right-hand side. For Mella making the run, but he elects to shoot, and it just does not come off for him.
That replay brought to you by Nation's Giant Hamburger, serving you since 1952.
But if you're the Oakland Roots, you cannot give the ball away in your defensive half. 2 players like Foster, 2 players like Formella, they'll make you pay.
Jordan Farrell actually called his team Santa Claus in the first half of the year for all of the points they gifted teams and all of the goals they gifted teams. Said they've gotten away from that in a big way ever since they had this remarkable turnaround, but every now and then you could have a moment like that. You just hope it doesn't end up in the back of your net and they get away with it that time. Iwasa, rather Cuello. Green and Clementa come up big time and again. Ball fall. Lafeka out for Rodriguez. Brilliant switch from Rodriguez.
Great ball.
Finds Ameriqua. Now Hernandez. Back out for Ameriqua. Turning the corner to the end line, drives the ball in, and Saldana is there. After what we saw in the first half, a very tame 9 minutes to begin half number 2.
And you have to think the coaches got into their boys' ears and told them, all right, make the ball move, make the ball talk. Too much off the field stuff, talking about players, getting into players' faces. No, you don't want that in a game like this. Yes, emotions are high, but you have to control that. You want your play to do the talking and stick the ball in the back of the net. That will make the most noise in this match.
Formella, case in point of that. A couple moments after he picked up his yellow card for getting into a bit of a scuffle, he goes ahead and scores that goal. And I think that goal will resonate a lot more than the yellow card did at the end of this one. Unless he picks up his second yellow, then that will turn out to have a pretty big impact as well. Green, direct ball over to Rodriguez. Slapped away by Saldana, still alive, and Rodriguez puts it wide of the post.
And it's a great run. An even better ball from Green. And if you're Saldana, you have to be secure coming off your line. That ball cannot bounce around into your box. But you love to see the opportunistic from Rodriguez to get in behind and almost find the back line net there. He can make you pay. You have to be aware of where he is at all times if you're the Sac Republic defensive unit.
Good ball from Blanchette. Ward taken down by Cuello. And that'll be a yellow card for Cuello. That tally is rising. 2 on each side now.
And it's a little cheeky touch here from Akeem Ward, but if you're Cuello, you cannot have your hand up that big and horse collar Akeem down. That's a silly yellow you do not want to pick up in this match.
Hernandez kicks out Fall. Now Rodriguez. Feka can hit that the way he wanted to. Ward does well to keep that in. Thought it was out. Here's Rodriguez once again. Oakland starting to find the rhythm in the passing as they did towards the end of that first half. Foul goes against Rodriguez. Put that challenge in from behind. Wheeler Aminu grabbing the leg in some pain. Sargis waving on the trainers for his teammate. See if we can get a look here at what happened.
It's a tough tackle between Quincy Ameriqua and I think it's Villarreal. Just knee-to-knee contact. There's no ill will there. Both players going for the ball, but that's something you do not want to see if you're Mark Briggs. To have a player like Villarreal on the floor. He's been so good in this match. We saw he has the assist. He's able to dictate tempo. His relationship between him and Wheeler Aminu have been so pivotal in this match for Sacramento.
That might prompt the first change of the evening for Sacramento. Villarreal still on the deck. Chance for both teams to regroup here as well. Assess the first 15 minutes or so of the first half. And we are 1-1 because of two first-half goals. The first from Quincy Ameriqua, the second from Darek Formella as Oakland went up and then Sacramento tied it.
And it's just about this awareness from Quincy Ameriqua to see Jose Hernandez pop into that pocket. That draws Sargis out, and he sees it. He sees the gap to exploit. But then look at this pass. Just so cheeky, so creative. Everyone thinks he's going to shoot it, and it freezes everyone just to slide that into Formella.
Villarreal hobbling off the field. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watson, Devin Kerr every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Villarreal jogging up and down the sideline, hoping that he can shake it off and get back out there. Grimace on the face as he takes his strides. Back to the action for Mella. Sacramento right now playing down a man. Only momentarily, Villarreal back out there as the ball was driven in to Cuello. Ricky, you've mentioned not to pick up silly yellows in this game. There's the latest entry there from McCrary for trying to take that shot late. He's got a silly one for Mella, Diaz, and Volfall. All of the yellows they picked up, not for fouls. The only one who got a yellow for a foul was Cuello.
And there's no need just to kick this ball after the whistle blown. And it's going to be very interesting. Into this first half, this 15 minutes in, it's been very active on this McCrary side with the likes of Akeem Ward finding the feet of Menfeco, finding Rodriguez, getting them involved. So look for him to be very disciplined moving forward in this game.
Here's the first change. Carlton Belmar in, Malik Foster out. Change brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Carlton Belmar enters with just a goal on the season to go with 2 assists in his 23 appearances, 16 starts. And now it's Oakland setting up for a free kick.
And it's a really good opportunity here for Oakland with players like Medfecca and Jose Hernandez that have the quality of service to put this in a dangerous area. You do not want to give this team dead ball opportunities. They'll make you pay with the likes of Green, Clementa, Fall that are very good in the air. So look for Jose Hernandez or Medfecca to put this ball in and around that penalty area.
Either player a very good option here. Will it be Hernandez to swing it in or Medfecca with the outswinger? Always keeps the goalkeeper on his toes as well when you're not sure which way the spin is going to be on the ball. It's the in-swinger from Hernandez towards that back post. Skimmed along, Green keeps it in. Rodriguez takes a shot in front, it's loose. McCrary gets it away. Ball fall. Medfecca. Visore inside to the back post! A dream here for Oakland. Clementa against a team that he won a championship with in this league, now doing it for his hometown. Oakland up 2-1.
Tremendous. What a header this is from Clementa. But then again, it's all about the service from Visore. You can see how much it means to this squad. Good things happen when you put the ball in dangerous opportunities. And what a peach of a pass this is from Visore. But then again, look at this towering header to snap this to that far post from the center back, looking like a striker, Clementa. What a goal this is for the Oakland Roots. What a goal that is for Eric Clementa personally. 2-1 Oakland.
His first goal of the season, Matias Visore's first assist of the season. An unlikely combo to get it done for the Roots. It's a $510 donation to Rising Sun, sponsored by East Bay Community Energy. Rising Sun is an Oakland-based nonprofit working at the intersection of equity, climate, and jobs to prepare local youth and adults for good, sustainable careers in construction and the clean economy. A player who's been on both sides of this as the foul is committed there by Wheeler Aminu. Remember, Clementa was very happy in Sacramento when he spent a few years there. Closest to home he could have been in USL Championship until Oakland came along. This is his home, mentioned it in the first half, after his family immigrated from Montenegro when he was just 8 years old back in 1999. Now can finally truly play for his hometown, and he scores what so far is the biggest goal of the season for the Roots. They want another. Medfecca inside, and it's grabbed by Saldana.
And he's been so good on the defensive end, cleaning up fires, putting fires out when this Oakland Roots team has made mistakes in the back. And to get a goal, he's just been tremendous 65 minutes into this match.
Hernandez for Ameriqua. Rodriguez making the run in the middle. Ameriqua saw it, didn't send it that way, didn't have much space. Diaz mishits it. What is the decision now from Mark Briggs as he eyes that bench? Already that one change made. Carlton Belmar in for Malik Foster. Rodriguez takes a strike himself, maybe ambitious from there. Didn't catch it cleanly. The Roots right now in the middle of this playoff race. They only have 2 home games remaining at Laney this season, Saturday, October 16th and Saturday, October 30th. Don't miss any of the action as the Roots make a push towards the playoffs. For more info, visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets. Diaz battling with Formella, taken down with an arm whip. And that foul actually goes against Diaz. Both of those players going at it with each other have to be careful, both on a yellow. To be honest, live, I thought the foul was going to go against Formella here.
It's a tough one. It looks like Formella comes across and pulls Diaz down. The ref sees something different. I would have given it to the Oakland Roots, but the ref is on the field and he's getting paid to make calls like that. Not jealous of him, though.
It's one of those tough ones where it could go either way because both players have their arms up. As this one is flicked on by Casey, and Blanchette is able to grab it. But when they both go down like that, you do have to call something.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Said these teams might leapfrog each other all night long. A look at the live standings now as Oakland retakes the lead. It was Oakland in fourth place when it was 1-0. It was Sacramento in fourth place when it was 1-1. And now it's Oakland again in fourth place as it stands. Ball fall, flips it inside, looking for Mafeka. Nice turn from Wheeler Aminu, finds Cuello. This game so far taking on the identity of the first time these teams met when it finished 3-3, rather than the last two which both finished scoreless. Lacroix, nobody lags behind at the penalty mark to get to that one, and the foul is called against Wheeler Aminu. Tonight's small business of the match, presented by American Express, is Renewal Mill. Renewal Mill is based in the Bay Area with plant-based and upcycled crave-worthy cookies and premium baking mixes. Use your sweet tooth for good at Renewal Mill's treats that are delicious for you and better for the planet. Check them out at renewalmill.com. Oakland was in this position on Saturday, up 2-1 in the second half against Vegas. Foul goes against the Roots here, and that one on Saturday, they squandered it late. Dropped 2 points against Vegas. Have to be wary of that here, I'm sure. It's something going through the mind of Jordan Farrell and these players. Said they want to use Saturday as a learning experience, not to do that again. Well, here you have your first test just a few days later. Same situation. Villarreal looks to be all right after he was shaken up a few moments ago. Good to see him carry on. Such a vital component of this midfield. Here's Rodriguez. McCrary puts a good foot in. Villarreal. Back for Casey. Glance over the shoulder from Wheeler Aminu. Ameriqua closes down quickly, but it's out to Villarreal and sprung forward for Carlton Belmar. Cut inside. Give away. Here's Cuello. Ball fall, comes away with it. Just a yellow card reminder for Sacramento. McCrary, Formella, Cuello for the Roots, Diaz and Fall. Heavy collision there. It saw Diaz go down. Sargis came across. Chance for the Roots to come away with the first ever win in this rivalry after 3 draws this season. 20 minutes to go now with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. Glad you could join us tonight on ESPN Plus and locally on Coffee TV in the Bay Area. 8-11-7 the Roots coming in. 8-10-8 Sacramento. Separated by a point in the standings. As I mentioned, separated by nothing in the head-to-head with 3 draws. Right now, the Roots may be edging ahead. There's still plenty of time in this one, and with the drama that we've seen already in this rivalry this year, I don't think we're done yet, Ricky. There's going to be one more turn here, whether it's a second yellow, whether it's another goal, I don't know. This one has something left in it.
It does. With match that means so much. You know both of these teams are going to fight to that final whistle. It's not over. It's a saying, it's not over till the fat lady sings. And you know each team is going to fight for those 3 points until that they can't fight no more.
Gathering of players. Top of the box here. Diaz puts it in. Skimmed along. Here's Ameriqua. Flag went up. Still no changes yet from the Roots.
And again, it's a good ball in from Diaz. Ameriqua is just a little bit too eager to get behind that back line. But if you're Sac, you have to be aware of these warning signs to not give the Oakland Roots any dead ball opportunities in their attacking half. They got a goal on one on a second ball of a free kick. So look for them to not give this Oakland Roots another chance at a dead ball opportunity.
Cuello over to Formella. Nice flick up the flank for Lacroix. Lacroix sends Green flying, puts it towards Cuello, knotted down. Nothing he could do with that. He was thinking about the bike. His hands go on his head now. That would have been a tough one to time, especially from where he was on the field.
And it's a really good attack from the Sac Republic side to go on that left flank, to see the skill that Formella possesses, and then the composure of Lacroix to put a dangerous ball in. Just rises a little bit too high for Cuello, but it's early. It's good signs for the Sac team.
McCrary, a long throw. Headed away by Ameriqua. In space here, Mafeka, 3v2 if he hurries with Hernandez and Ameriqua, but he loses it from behind. Cuello. Formella has earned the right to get booed every time he touches the ball now. You can hear it from this crowd. This rivalry going to a new level tonight.
But you can see he's getting on the ball more. His confidence is growing. This is what you want if you're Coach Briggs, your special player, to be on the ball, to be confident as the clock is winding down. It's his third or fourth time Formella has got that ball on the left-hand side and either dribbled in or found a dangerous ball in. So look for him to continue to get on the ball and cause problems for this Oakland Roots squad.
McCrary slides it inside to Villarreal. It was McCrary who had the goal to tie it last time. This one's for Formella into the chest of Blanchette. That goal came in the 68th minute back in the first meeting. McCrary tied it 3-3. Soya Takahashi is on the way in for Oakland. Next chance he gets, we're told for now it'll be for Memo Diaz. We wait for that to become official. And there it is, the official numbers put up on the board. Diaz out, Takahashi in, probably sends Akeem Ward to right back, with Takahashi going to the left. That change brought to you by East Bay Community Energy, powering, providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more.
And it's a really smart substitute from Coach Farrell to get Diaz, who was a little bit getting a little hot-headed between him and Formella. Formella was finding recent success against him, so it's going to take a really big shift from Akeem Ward to shut down Formella for the rest of this game. And look for Takahashi to get involved and to get up this game. And look, they're asking questions on his side already.
Here's Iwasa, muscled off by Valfal. Clementa has what would be the winning goal right now, gliding through the middle. Quarter hour to go. Handball against, oh no, calling it back for advantage that never materialized. Hernandez loses it. Wheeler Alminu. Sargis gives it away. Mafeka. Alfisore. Akeem Ward gets introduced to Formella, who commits the foul. the USL's elite pre-professional platform. USL Academy allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more info, visit usl-academy.com. Earlier, Ricky, we mentioned that a crowd that looks smaller than it was Saturday sounds louder because of the occasion, it seems like. It is officially smaller, 35-28 the attendance tonight after 5,044 on Saturday. But the decibel level is higher tonight. With so much on the line, I'm sure it helps that it is also dollar beer and soda night. A crowd very hydrated, to say the least, and enjoying every second of this one.
You know the players are feeding off the energy of the crowd. They've been into it since the first whistle, arguing at every call, getting behind each team, whether it's Sac, whether it's Oakland, and you know these players are having a joy. This is what you want as a player, to play in games that mean so much with a crowd that is just so alive and so much energy to feed off of.
Glance over the shoulder from Wheeler Aminu. Sees the space, puts it up to Cuello. It's one in, looking in the area of Iwasa and Formella. But again, the back line of the Roots coming up big. Cuello has been very active in this second half, getting on the ball more than we saw in the first. He came over at the end of August in a loan swap with San Antonio. That sent Mitch Tainter, the defender, over to Texas. Pair of changes on the way here for Sacramento. Patrick Weah and Pete Pennanen entering the match. That's it for Villarreal. And the other change, we'll see Cuello exit the match, just as we're remarking about how involved he's been in the second half. He exits for Patrick Weah. There's 3 changes made by Sacramento, still 1 from the Roots. Jordan Farrell not married to using all 5 of his subs. We had an interesting conversation with him about that going back a few weeks. There was a game in which they only used 2 changes. We asked him about it, and he said, look, just because there are 5 doesn't mean we have to use them. Seems like because we've seen 5 for 2 years now, people forget we used to only have 3. So it would have been normal to only use 2 under some circumstances. Trust the guys he has out there. All changes brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Visit ebce.org to find out more. McCrary trying to work by Rodriguez, and he commits the foul in the process.
You can just see the work that Rodriguez puts in on the defensive half. Whether it's him tracking back, helping Takahashi, Fall coming in, being involved. It's just been such a joy to watch if you're Coach Farrell. Just a defensive effort to keep this lead intact for the Oakland Roots.
Join USL in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month through October the 15th. Visit uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage for exclusive content and stories that help celebrate members of the Hispanic community who have shaped the USL. $10 to go, plus whatever is shown on the 4th official's board as stoppage time here at Laney tonight. Chilly night in the mid-50s. Plenty of action on the field for the fans who have gotten out here on this Wednesday evening. We went 212 minutes in this rivalry without a goal, going back to the 68th minute of the first meeting that finished 3-3. Someone turned the goal faucet back on again tonight with 3 already. Lacroix. Way up. Knocked out by Ward. Wheeler Aminu sends it in Falling for Belmar, holding it up, and cleared away by Green.
And again, you can see the numbers that this Oakland Roots has. You see what Belmar's trying to do. He's trying to hold that ball up and roll it to Iwasa, but he doesn't have enough time. You see the effort, whether it's whether it's Green, Clementa getting involved. It's just been such a defensive unit for Oakland Roots.
And now this defensive unit will have to deal with a set piece. It was in the aftermath of a set piece on the secondary ball in that Oakland conceded against Vegas over the weekend in a game that was 2-1 Oakland and finished 2-2. A direct quote from Jordan Farrell was that they certainly squandered 2 points. He said, "I hope it served as a lesson as we enter more tight games down the stretch here, that we know we're going to need to play our game until the last whistle blows." Same situation, here we go again, up 2-1, last 10 minutes. Floated to the back post, hit across frame into the hands of Paul Blanchette.
You can see how upset Clementa is. It doesn't come off, but you cannot have a player that free, practically inside your 6-yard box on that back post. At this level, everyone can put a dangerous ball in, but he's just so free, Casey, and it's just very fortunate for Oakland Roots that he does not do anything more dangerous with that ball. And if you're Sacramento Republican, Coach Briggs, you want Iwasa to come alive. He's been extremely quiet. Your leading goal scorer with 7 goals has been held in check, so you want him to get going. He is your danger man as he wins a corner kick here.
That substitution powered by East Bay Community Energy. And these subs are as well. Jerome Kiesewetter entering the match for Sacramento. On the way out, Andrew Wheeler-Alminu. Here's that change for the Roots running out at the last moment here on a defensive set piece. It's Tariq Murad. He returns to the fold. Had been missing since early August. Ameriqua exits. Driven in by Formella. He gets back to it, puts it back in there. While Fall heads it away. An extra center back on now for the Roots. With Ameriqua coming off. Defender for a striker. You know what the Roots are trying to do now. Just see this one out in a way they did not on Saturday.
And on the other hand, you have Jerome Kiesewetter coming in for Wheeler-Alminu. Going to be very interesting the last 5 minutes of this match as Sacramento's looking for that equalizer and Oakland's trying to keep their lead intact.
Player you played with last year with Fort Lauderdale in USL League One. Very dangerous on the attack. Hernandez slides it through to Rodriguez. Johnny Rodriguez has it blocked by Sargis. That foul goes against Formella. You know, I guess it evens out. Think back a few moments ago with a similar play at the other end that went against Diaz. This one goes against Formella. Both players, arms up. They go down, so the ref's got to call something. And this time, he evens it out.
But again, it's so good from Jose Hernandez to just put his body in front of Formella and win this free kick. Whether or not it's the right call, he won't ask any questions. He's putting in the defensive unit, and he's a number 10. He is your playmaker. You can just see how much it means for this Oakland Roots squad to get into challenges, to do the dirty work, and to win a dangerous free kick for his squad again.
After seeing the way Saturday went, Oakland would love some insurance. Sent in. Nearly Clementa again broke free. Takahashi clears. Late foul call against Sacramento as well. Jordan Farrell thought it was funny that they utilized almost a whole season's worth of fireworks in the first meeting between these teams that ended 3-3. with 2 0-0 draws since then. Well, he was wrong on one thing. They didn't use the whole season's worth of fireworks because we've seen plenty tonight with 4 minutes to go. Ball fall. Lacroix. Pennanen misfires. Does well to get to that 50-50 ball. And it's last off of Pennanen. We have seen 33 fouls committed in this game. We have seen 5 yellow cards. Only 3 of those are still on the field as Cuello and Diaz have been subbed off. It's still Formella, McCrary for Sacramento, and Valfall for the Roots that have to be wary of their current situation. Can't afford to go down to 10 men at this stage now. Belmar slides it behind McCrary. Does well to regather. Back for Belmar. And Belmar commits the foul. Looks like Oakland has 2 more subs that are ready to check in at some point. Not up at the midway line yet, still over having a chat with Jordan Farrell and the assistant coaches. And now making their way over to the 4th official. Travian Sosa and Max Ornstill are the 2 players who are getting ready to check in. I'm told it'll be Johnny Rodriguez and Lindo Mafeka on the way out. Already saw 1 center back on for a forward with Murad coming in for Ameriqua. And those other 2 changes would bring on another center back and another defensive midfielder for 2 strikers. Here's Hernandez. Tough ball to deal with. For Saldana dipping right in front of him. And he handles it very cleanly. 90 seconds to go of the 90 minutes. Sacramento hasn't had many good looks at Blanchette here in this second half. Taking a look at the stats, they only have 3 shots on target still on the game. 2 of them here in the second half. None of them have been as good as the chance they had for the goal in the first. There are those changes now. Travian Sosa on. Max Orn still on. Johnny Rodriguez off. And Lindo Mafeka off. Brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Visit ebce.org to find out more.
And it won't show up on the stat sheet, but Rodriguez and Mafeka put such a shift in on this match, doing so much of the dirty work. Whether it's drawing fouls, getting into the defensive unit, being just a menace to play against. They were tremendous, and Coach Farrell has to be very happy with those 2 and the performance they put on in a huge match tonight.
Travian Sosa checking in, just turned 20 recently. Was signed on September 28th from Sporting Kansas City 2. Previously spent time in Germany with Hamburger SV. Made 14 appearances for the team's U19s and now makes his Oakland debut with 4 minutes of stoppage time in this one. Stoppage time is brought to you by Nation's Giant Hamburgers. Hungry for a hamburger? Don't settle for a nothing burger. Go for a Nation's Giant Hamburger, the East Bay's favorite since 1952. Really fresh, a little hard to hold. Totally awesome. Keep it real. Make it Nation's.
And if you're Sac, you have 4 minutes, but that does not mean you need to start forcing things. You have 1 more good look at Blanchette and to tie this game up. So be patient, be composed. You don't want to start shooting from 40 yards out. You want to put the ball in dangerous areas, move the ball, be confident, be mature in your buildup. And if you're Oakland Roots, you have to stay compact. You have to be a little bit of show some professionalism, take a little bit time off the clock when the ball's out of bounds, when you have to be a little bit cheeky. So look for them to close out this match in a massive, massive, massive last couple minutes in their season.
Get enough massives in there? I know it's a big moment.
Huge. It's a huge. You know, Coach Friel's talking to his boys what happened a couple days ago against Las Vegas.
Conceding in the 89th minute of that one. Now in the 92nd minute of this one. One more yellow card brandished here. It goes to Pete Pennanen. Just a couple minutes remaining now. Would be a big 3 points, or massive, as you said, for the Roots.
We need 2 more massives.
Would be a massive, massive, massive win for the Roots to go into 4th place to end the night. They would sit 2 points ahead of LA Galaxy 2, who have a game in hand. But they would be 2 points clear of Sacramento on the same number of games played. And 2 things not to lose sight of under the radar here, as the foul here goes against McCrary. This would also give the Roots the tiebreaker with Sacramento. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. After 3 ties, a win here for the Roots, of course, would give them that tiebreaker. And Tacoma Defiance down in 7th, still within striking distance, only 4 points back of the Roots as it would stand. They do have a game in hand, so winning this and going to 34 means that Tacoma can no longer catch you just based on that game in hand. And that game in hand is against Vegas, so a decent chance that it is a victory for Tacoma. Time to play it, keep away, it seems, in the corner. Ornstill and Hernandez. Takahashi back over for Volfall. Just a minute to go in this one. It'll be a Sacramento throw. And they have one last chance in this. Volfall gets in the way there, interferes with McCrary. He's already on a yellow. Some leniency here from Joseph Salinas. Ricky, your hands went to your head immediately. I thought the same thing, that Volfall was on his way off here.
Playing with fire. He has to be extremely smart in this last minute here, not to pick up a yellow.
Hernandez tried to take down and stop that attack. It's up for Iwasa. Blanchette makes a stop. Still alive. Ward puts a challenge in. Battling Formella. Formella comes away with it. And the challenge is clean in the box. It had to be, as Patrick Weah was ready to pull the trigger. Was that the last chance for Sacramento as Blanchette comes up big? The crowd wants the whistle. Takahashi misplays it, but Moran is there to clean it up. Long throw from McCrary, last chance now. It falls in the area. Weah trying to fight for it, it's cleared away. There's the final whistle. Elation from the Roots. They end the night over the playoff line, and they win the first ever season series in the NorCal Derby.
What a win this is for the Oakland Roots. Tremendous. This is a character building win. With so much at stake in a match like this, to come out on top and just talk about the defensive unit from Coach Friel and the squad. Tremendous 3 points that is going to go such a long way in this playoff race.
2-1 victory. The winning goal belongs to Emra Clementa. Scores against his former team, a side that he won the 2014 championship with, but tonight he does it for his hometown. The Oakland Roots win it 2-1. We're back in a moment to wrap this one up from Laney College.
Community. It's not just a place. It's shared experiences and memories. It's feeling like you belong. It's home.
Here is Jack McInerney, still McInerney!
But community is more than where you come from. It's the sum of our collective actions. And if we work together, it's ours for generations. East Bay Community Energy. Join us in leading the transition to green power.
Ball over the top for Rodriguez, cut inside, back post, exclamation point.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, unless you do it together.
1, 2, 3, family!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots are teaming up, taking on food insecurity, improving physical and mental health, and speaking out for social justice. We're committed to improving the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
Tonight's game was brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities and by user testing, real-time feedback from real customers wherever you work. It ends 2-1 in the Oakland Roots' favor. We take a look at the full-time highlights brought to you by Anthem, and we take you all the way back to the 9th minute of this one. Brilliant ball from Vol Fall into Quincy Ameriqua.
And you want your leader to step up, whether it's Fall, whether it's Ameriqua. Those two linking up is something you love to see your Coach Farrell. And it's just a cool, calm, collective finish there from Ameriqua.
Second goal in a Roots uniform for Quincy Ameriqua, and does so in back-to-back games, but scores level in the 31st minute, courtesy of Derek Formella.
And it's just such a clever ball that no one sees coming from Villarreal. And then Formella does what he does, put the ball in the back of the net. He was active tonight. He was very good in the Sacramento Republic attack.
And it came from the least likely of sources. First goal of the season for Clementa. Reverse header. Wasn't even looking at the goal, but he got it done.
But what a goal it was. He was so good defensively, but there he looks like a striker, and you can see how much it means to him. Just a clever header just popped that over Saldana.
Full-time stats brought to you by Puma. At halftime, it was 7-1 for Sacramento. In the second half, 9-5. Oakland responded well in the second, and they get the goal.
And whatever Coach Farrell said to the squad worked, and you know he's going to say it again when they're down to Phoenix. Goals win games. Games give you points. Points give you playoffs. And that is what the Oakland Roots needed. That's what they got. What a win this is for the Oakland Roots squad.
And we take a look at the updated standings as well. Coming into the night, the Roots below the playoff line. They end above that line. And they get that tiebreaker as well over Sacramento by taking the head-to-head. Ricky, your final thoughts from a game that would elicit many thoughts because there was a lot to unpack in the final installment of the rivalry this season between Sacramento and Oakland.
If you're the Oakland Roots, you're in the playoffs now, yes, but you cannot get complacent. You have to go down to Phoenix, give them a game. You have games at home. You have to win them and do your stuff on the road. Sacramento Republic, you cannot afford to drop any more points moving throughout the season. You're in 6th place. You're out of the playoffs at the moment, but you're not done for the season. Game in, game out. You need 3 points and keep collecting 3 points as you go in.
Both of these teams on the road on Saturday. As you mentioned, Ricky, it's on the road to Phoenix for Oakland. It's on the road to San Diego for Sacramento. What a night it was at Laney. 3 ties in the first 3 games between these teams in the first year of the NorCal Derby. It ends with the Roots finally taking a win, 2-1. Clementa gets the goal to win it. For my broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin, and the crew that makes this possible, I am Joe Malfa saying good night from Oakland, California. The Roots 2, Sacramento 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.